My first artifact is this picture of me and my mom and my grandpa. We've had this picture for a long time because it was taken when I was in elementary school. My elementary school was closing down because of budget cuts. It was also the same time as Act 10 for teachers who are in Wisconsin. And it was just a big moment that I still remember of my mom and my grandpa and I all working towards something that we cared about. So I think that part of the values and priorities that it instilled in me was activism. So being an active part of things that I cared about. So if it was something that mattered to me, doing something about it instead of just talking about it. And I think that's carried over to my teaching career as well. Also, just the togetherness of family and doing it as a unit, standing up for things. And because my grandpa was a retired educator, my mom's a teacher, and then now I'm a teacher, just that sense of familial connection as educators, too. And the story it tells is coming together to fight for what we believe is right. When I look at it, I feel proud. I feel, it didn't turn out how we wanted it to, but that's honestly not the thing I take away from the photo. It's that we were standing together for something. And it helps you know who I am by, like I was saying before, I like to be active in the things that I care about. So I'm on the school-based leadership team. I'm part of the Black Lives Matter in Schools planning committee for my school for the month of February. I see being a teacher as being a leader, not only for the students, but also for the people around me. And that's something that I think I got from my family members. So that's my first artifact. And the second one is something that I can show you like this. This is a card that I got from my grandma. Her first name is Cheryl, so that's why there's an S. And it's a note from my 21st birthday that says, Libby, happy 21st birthday. You are wonderful, you are special, you are well loved by us. Grandma Cheryl and Grandpa Marty. And it's from my 21st birthday. And you can kind of tell it's pretty curved. I keep it in this box, which is from my other grandparents. That is an old, this top of it, or the front of it, is from a mailbox from my great grandma's mailroom that she used to work in, and then my grandpa made the wooden box. So I feel like me showing you all of this is to say that I'm very close with all of my grandparents. I have 4 grandparents still with me, which I feel very lucky to have, and they're a really big part of my life. And I think that that's instilled in me just this sense of like history and heritage and close family. And I know that a lot of my students have family relationships that also are super close to them. It might not be grandparents, it could be aunts and uncles or moms and dads and different things like that. But that's a really big part of my life, and I know that that can be the case for my students too. And part of my values and priorities are just that I know that my students have meaningful home relationships, and I want to really value those because I know what a big impact that they've had on my life for my own grandparents. And the story that it tells is that I have a strong support system, which helps me support my students. I think it's a lot easier to be really supportive and be really caring and being all those things when you have had those examples your whole life. And I have had those from my parents and my grandparents, and I feel really lucky and grateful for them. And how it helps you know who I am. I've put in a couple of my things that granddaughter is a big part of my identity, and that definitely extends to these artifacts as well. And as my grandma put, I am well loved, which really makes me feel good and helps me share that love with my students too. So those are my artifacts. Thanks.